Let's see. Bring it up closer, you think?
Okay.
You think? Yeah. All right. Go. Hey, Chendano, friend. All right. So,
I love Bombay.
got the Sapphire Bombay. Hanging out with my friend Larry here. And he was there when Tyler and, and his company came through. Met him.
Didn't like the guy.
Nah, it's got a weird vibe, yeah. I mean, but honored that you are joining me to address these serious and well, they'd be serious if they weren't comical allegations being levied against Holy Smoke. And so I started taking notes on all the lies he told, and it was like every 15 seconds. So I'm just like, screw it. Let me just like do some some of the top ones, some of the big ones. Okay, so the first thing to bring up is when we met with them before everything fell apart. Before he backed out of doing the shooting, we informed him that we make sure everyone's respected. We don't tolerate any language like mole people. We specifically told him this, and he acted like, oh yeah, I'm with that. Oh yeah, that's terrible. It's dehumanizing. It's hurtful to those who live down there to be called this term. And we've had problems with people using this term in the past. We informed him of it. He assured us he wouldn't use it. Now, of course, when he backed out of doing the whole shoot, he just felt free to go ahead and title the video in such a way and make that thumbnail, that hideous thumbnail. So this is one area that was he really failed as a person because he chose to be hurtful and exploitive after assuring us he understood the problem with this term.
I honestly think that's what she wants to capture, and not actually deal with a homeless person, but pretty much a fentanyl using zombie.
Right.
He's hitting crack or fetty.
And that is what he wants to be able to capture, and he's exploiting that sickness and that illness of that person.
Right.
Rather than dealing with
A well-read,
like
erudite cat like yourself who happens to be living out here. So, so you're gonna dig this, right? After we met him, he came back the next day. Remember how dry it was, right? There had been no rains. He went down into the tunnels, and he's got footage of himself running from a flood.
We are foot deep in water.
Flood coming. They opened up the floodgates, which doesn't make any sense.
Kevin, you know what that sounded like? It sounded like floodgate.
That does sound like a floodgate.
Is that a floodgate? Okay, let's go.
Is that a floodgate? Oh, I thought we were gonna die. I thought it was over. Oh my god, I was so scared. Yeah, we heard something.
See?
I thought we were gonna hit with the flood. Yeah, see it was. Oh, that spooked the shit out of me.
And him and his buddy running from nothing over like dry tunnel.
Yeah.
No, man.
One, you wouldn't be running from it. If there's the water, and they'll tell you down there.
Yeah.
When the water comes, the water's coming. You ain't running. You're grabbing a mattress and floating on top to see where the hell you end up at. There's
Right.
no warning.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
be running from it. It would have already come upon you.
Oh, and also when he's running, so he's trying to portray it's like, oh, it's so dangerous. He's so brave going down the tunnels because not only was he running from a non-existent flood when there hadn't been any rain in weeks, but he was also running because he said that we put a hit on him. He said that Holy Smoke had ordered people to attack them, and that's not what happened. That's not at all what happened. We even invited him to come back, like, hey, let's put things aside. And we invited him to come back. This is all in text. It's, we got receipts, and he said, yeah, come without the cameras. Come meet people first, and then get permission because he only gave us 2 days warning. He wants to talk about this $900. Ooh, $900 that he dropped on us. Yeah, with 2 days warning. we need more time than that to go out and communicate, you know, and get permission and to let people know that we're coming through. And he did none of this, you know, like he didn't let us do any of this. He just wanted to, you know, rush us, jump in there. See, we're not.
But at the same point, I did appreciate the fact that he said, "Oh, well, you can keep the donation."
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was already in our bank account.
Right.
if he wants to back out, you know.
I mean, yeah. Because when I met him, I mean, he was looking down at the fact that I was going, "Did anyone bring any weed?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, we're about to smoke." Cool. And he like all of a sudden like
Really?
goes and changes his mind and
Really weird attitude about weed.
Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
I'm so fucking scared.
yeah.
You know, like.
But yet he wants to go in somewhere and find just those who are really ill and drug addled through heroin, through blues, whatever, and find them standing there at their worst point of a day,
Yeah,
rather
you know.
than talk to, I guess, an old stoner like me.
Yeah, right. You know. No, you're right. Yeah, he's a predator trying to prey on people. He doesn't understand this idea of consent and permission, and you know, he's just going in trying to.
I should have brought my own release form sometime.
Oh, okay. Then there's this other ridiculous allegation he makes that we buy weed from people in the tunnels. We don't do that. That's crazy. Like, what the hell? Like,
We
no.
have 30 dispensaries
Yeah.
within walking distance from here.
No, like we'll show up and like, you know, it's like, ooh, you know, we'll break out like a little joint, right? And be like, hey, y'all, let's, you know, Holy Smoke is here. And they're all like, oh, hey, let me show you my dab rig, you know? They're like breaking out like, you know, like bongs and vape pens. And yeah, no, we can't keep up with the folks down there.
It's fun things you find in that.
It's Nevada. There's just weed everywhere, you know? It's just, you know, it's like the new national flower, state flower, something like that. Replacing the road cone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just ridiculous, and that might actually be an actionable accusation that he made. Oh, okay. So here's my favorite. Here's my favorite part. Tyler said that I called Kevin an asshole because he gives people $5. That never happened. I never called him an asshole because he gives people $5. I wasn't even talking about the fact that Kevin was the one prompting Tyler to give people having, I wouldn't even assume it's a drug problem. These people look like they were having like a mental health crisis, like schizophrenia or something. They're standing and they're in the worst state of their life. And he's like, here, $5, get an interview with you.
We went downtown to talk to some drug addicts to figure out how this all happened.
So what's going on here? Is this fentanyl use?
Well, I'm gonna go talk with him really quick.
This looks like someone's stripping potentially.
Hey, I'm with my friends. I was wondering if you would want to talk to him for a second for $5. Is this something you would want to do, dear? No? Okay.
You know, and shoves a camera in their face, and
$500, we might talk.
And that's not why I didn't even call him an asshole for doing that, even though I think it's despicable and immoral, and just shows a lack of moral instinct and basic human compassion, decency. So this Kevin guy has bragged about being stabbed multiple times from going into homeless encampments. I forget how many times.
Why.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, yeah, I can see why he's been stabbed so many times. He's an asshole. Now, I had no idea that Tyler actually had fond feelings for this Kevin guy, because by the way he depicted him, he made him look like a monster. He made him look like an asshole. And I was like, oh yeah, I can see why that guy got stabbed, you know, over and over. Now, I've been in homeless encampments all across the country, tons of them down here. I've never even been threatened, let alone stabbed. And this is the guy that Tyler keeps referring to as like, oh, my expert on homelessness. Expert? He keeps getting stabbed. He's an expert on getting stabbed, which
Or beaten. I mean,
Yeah,
it depends on where, you know, what's coming near me, I'll fucking knock his ass out.
And as it turns out, we've been informed by people reaching out to us to educate us on Kevin and his background. He's part of an organization, or was part of an organization that has a truly despicable, the worst things you can think of, this organization is involved in. I'm not exaggerating. I don't even want to bring up such ugly topics, but there's going to be a link in the description to a website that puts it all together, describing this organization that Kevin was a party to, which I can see why he got stabbed so many times. You know, it's amazing he's still alive given the laundry list. Even the government even got involved trying to stop this group from its heinous activities, and the people that they had working with them, just the most hideous kinds of people. And I don't use that term lightly. Okay, so. Oh yeah, so he says that all we do is hand out joints.
No.
No. Sit.
I thought he had captured you loading 100 meals in bags to bring out.
That part.
Holy Smoke does have part of its mission to bring relief to the homeless any way they can, even through cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm an old, disabled, fucked up dude who likes to get high.
There's people that
I can't afford a dispensary. Luckily, I have high friends in low places.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's saying this Kevin guy, right? He said that when he was saying that we're buying weed from people in the tunnels and passing it out, and he says that quote unquote that quote unquote he said that weed almost always has fentanyl in it. He said almost always laced with fentanyl. Now,
I don't know where the fuck you're buying your weed at, dude.
I'd like to know, you know.
I mean, I got some test strips in my fucking shit right now. I can test it for you.
Yeah. So I go to look into this, right? Because I mean, it's a prima facie absurdity because fentanyl costs more than weed, so there's no economic incentive to it, right? It's just not going to happen, right? So
plus, they get it fine on their own. They don't need the weed to get it.
So I go to look this up, and apparently the very first reported incident of fentanyl-laced weed was in 2022, and it turned out to be a hoax. It was a lie. Some kids were popping bootleg pills, and when they went to the hospital, they said, "I don't know. It must have been the weed. Must have been laced," and they got exposed. And then there was another accusation that came up, I think, in Tennessee in 2023. Second time this has been alleged to have happened. That also turned out to be false. So there's no recorded incident of that ever happening. He's saying it almost always has fentanyl in it. And he said that we have blood on our hands. Here's the thing. We've been getting a lot of death threats ever since Tyler's video came out. And there's a tenor to all this harassment we've been getting online. It's a type of I'm down with right-wing folk. I'm down with all kinds of right-wing causes and right-wing politics, but this is a right-wing subculture that is there's like social Darwinists. They just want homeless people to die in the streets. In fact, Kevin has expressed this sentiment. He believes that, according to some of his writings that we found on Twitter, that he believes that homelessness exists because charity exists, and that if charities didn't exist, then they're anti-charity. They're anti-charity and they want to work with a charity, and then they wind up attacking a charity, creating drama with us. This is not an accident. This is part of an agenda. These are folks who provoke and promote violence against homeless people. These weird-ass anti-homeless vigilantes, like that one motherfucker.
I bet he's the fucker who started bum fights.
No, we've been calling them bum fights light. Yeah. No, he's like that. He's exploiting. They're part of this larger political movement to demonize homeless people and promote violence against them. And this is something that you get these weirdos. They light camps on fire. They throw stuff. They
harass you while you're sleeping. They're riding the bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
Come my way, Kevin. We'll see how.
So there's this and there was also this slight as they're bagging us and dissing us, right? See, we say right on our website. First thing that we say is hey, we're not, we don't go into people's homes and preach some religion or try to be like, oh, you need to get off drugs. Here's a rehab. We go in and we try to make sure you got your ID. We try to make sure you get your mail. Try to assist in all these things so you can help yourself. And that's the very first thing that we mention. That's our first priority when we first connect with the community. We find out, hey, has everyone got their ID? No. Can we just make you an appointment, get you in? Oh, you got more complications, this kind of thing, right? So they go down there and they find out, as Kevin said, he said that 80% of the people they talked to said that ID was the #1 barrier to getting out.
Yep.
And then they intimated that we don't do anything. They kept saying how we don't do anything but pass out joints. And like, so why is it still a problem? He asks. And then they go into like slandering us and saying that we're killing people with, you know, fent weed, this mythical fent weed. Yeah, so what? Like 5 volunteers who work full-time jobs outside of this work haven't been able to overcome the Byzantine DMV system to get 2,000 people their IDs. Oh, you're still finding people that don't have their IDs. Oh,
Right, come on.
yeah, shit. You know, like yeah, no, we get.
And it's
IDs
not.
for-
It's
yeah.
not just that. Is see, I've only been in this situation for a year. God, for a year.
Yeah.
Only a month should have been, you know, whatever. But losing your ID or getting it stolen, then having to get it replaced, then having that stolen,
Yeah.
9 phones, everything either thrown out by our Metro Police, our marshals, our Department of Transportation, or just a random ass other person wants to just take your crap because they want to keep you down. So now I'm trying to work on my 3rd ID, and it's 6 weeks away before my friggin' appointment. So yeah, there's a slight fucking problem around here. And it's not just people not having IDs, it's the fact that they go to sleep and people come along and just fucking steal them.
Yeah. You know,
They'll
just
take it right out of your pocket.
motherfuckers. But you know, we got bigger and better things to do. So this is going to be the only video that we cut addressing Tyler directly. Although we're doing some podcasts with this guy, a friend of ours, Mad Hatter, something or other. We'll put another link in the description. So there's going to be 2 links. One link with the organization that Kevin's affiliated with, this like bizarre criminal anti-homeless vigilante. They attack homeless anyway, and there's worse shit in there than that. Check it out. And then we'll put a link to our new where we do a podcast from. We already did 1 episode, and yeah, looking forward to doing more. And we
Cheers again.
cheers,
Gone, but-
Chindano, into the future confusion of our enemies.
Well,